his words tumbling over each other about how I was ruining everything and being vindictive and punishing the kids for something he did. I waited until he stopped to breathe and then reminded him that he told everyone I was too negative and needed a break from them. He told his own children that their mother didn't want to be with them. His parents thought I was choosing to stay home. He'd written an entire story about me without bothering to check if any of it was true. The line went quiet for a second, and then Steve hung up on me. My phone rang again 20 minutes later with a video call from Mia. Her face filled the screen, red and blotchy from crying. She was squeezed into a corner of what looked like a tiny hotel room with people moving around behind her. Caden kept hitting her arm trying to get into the camera frame, and she pushed him away while crying harder. Everyone was crammed into one room because that was all the hotel had available, and nobody was having fun, and Daddy kept fighting with Grandma about money, and why wasn't I there to make everything better? My chest hurt listening to her voice crack on the last words. But I made myself remember that Steve told her I was too tired to come, that I wanted them to have fun without me. He'd planted those ideas in her head for weeks before they left. This whole mess was his creation, not mine. I told Mia I loved her and I'd talk to her tomorrow, then ended the call before I could change my mind about any of this. Lisa brought up the money situation over breakfast the next morning. We were sitting in a cafe eating overpriced pastries and fancy coffee drinks. She said maybe I'd made my point and should send enough money, so the kids could at least enjoy some of the vacation. I stabbed my fork into my croissant and told her I wasn't ready to let Steve off the hook. We went back and forth about it, her voice getting sharper each time she pointed out that Mia and Caden were suffering too. I reminded her she'd supported this plan when I first explained it. She said she supported making Steve face consequences, not making my kids miserable in Hawaii. The argument ended when I threw down money for the bill and walked out of the cafe. She followed me to the car, but we didn't talk much the rest of the day. Theodore called my phone that afternoon, and his voice had that cold, formal tone he used when he was disappointed in someone. He said Steve had explained the whole situation to him, how I was holding their vacation hostage over a simple misunderstanding. Theodore launched into a lecture about family unity and the importance of forgiveness, and how marriage required compromise from both people. He talked about how Steve was trying his best, and I needed to be more understanding of the pressure he was under. Not once did Theodore mention that his son deliberately excluded me and then lied about it to everyone. Not once did he acknowledge that Steve had poisoned my own children against me. I listened to the whole speech and then told Theodore I needed to go and hung up while he was still talking. I pulled up our credit card statement online and scrolled through the charges from Hawaii. The cramped hotel room cost more per night than the original booking, because it was last minute. Restaurant meals for 7 people kept appearing with Theodore's and Lillian's names on the charges since Steve's card wouldn't work. 3 separate attempts to upgrade the rental car from the compact to something bigger, all declined. I pictured them trying to fit 7 people and all their luggage into that tiny car, driving around Maui with everyone crammed together and miserable. Part of me felt satisfied seeing the proof of Steve's disaster. Another part of me felt sick knowing my kids were part of that disaster. My phone buzzed with a long text message from Janelle. She called me selfish and cruel for ruining everyone's vacation.